The 21st of October, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi.
It says, Ela told us Noach. These are the descendants of Noach. And we already mentioned who Noach is. It's interesting. Okay, so according to this first explanation, the words Noach ish tzaddik Tom haya b'derosav is not the explanation of who are the descendants of Noach. We're going to know who the descendants of Noach are from the next pasuk. But it's just like an interjection. These are the descendants of Noach. By the way, Noach was a righteous man, perfect in his generations, and Noach walked with or followed God's ways.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So it told of his praise. Shenemar, as it says, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. The memory of a righteous person is for a blessing.
Yeah, so according to this explanation, it doesn't mean the memory of a tzaddik, but means the mention of a tzaddik.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Devar acher. Alternatively, lilmedcha. This is to teach you sheikar to ledo sehem, that the main offspring shall tzaddikim of the righteous ma'asim tovim are good deeds.
Right.
B'derosav.
We say the descendants or the offspring of Noah is the fact that he was a righteous man.
Right.
I don't know how you translate, according to this, how would you translate toldos? These are progeny. It's translated as progeny or offspring is not exactly
the heritage.
The heritage, right? Maybe it's better. Okay.
B'dorosav yesh me rabosenu. There are those among our rabbis.
Let me just point out over here that the Torah seems to be using this term b'dorosav as a. I mean, you could just say ish tzaddik tomim hoya or ish tzaddik tomim. What is the word b'dorosav seems to be a limiting clause. Right? In his generations, he knows he wasn't an absolute tzaddik or perfect, wasn't absolutely perfect. But in his generations, he was perfect. It means relative to his generation, he was perfect. Okay?
Yeah.
So, carry on. So this is what Rashi's going to bring now.
Dorshim oso l'shevach. There are those among our rabbis who expound this word as praise, i.e., in praise of Noach. Kol shekain, all the more so, ilu haya b'dor tzaddikim. If he had been in a generation of righteous people, Hayat Tzaddik Yoser, he would have been even more righteous. V'yesh dorashim oso, and there are those who expound it liganai, as a deprecation. Lefi doro, according to the standards of his generation, Hayat Tzaddik, he was righteous. Ve'ilu Hayat bidoro shel Avraham, but if he had been in the generation of Avraham, lo haya nechshav lichlum, lichlum. He would not have been considered anything of significance. Hi, Rabbi. I lost you.
So did I.
Okay, sorry about that.
I don't know. We're wrestling if you're breaking the connection. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, so I'll go back a little bit. There are those who expound it for a good thing, that he was very righteous. If he had been in a better generation, he'd be even more righteous. And there are those who expound it as a deprecation. According to the standards of his generation, he was righteous. But if he had been in the generation of Abraham, he would have been considered nothing special.
Right.
Es ha-Elokim, he's...
I just want to point out over here, some people somewhat misunderstand this Rashi. Rashi's saying that both of them agree, both explanations agree, that he was a lesser tzaddik than Avraham Avinu. Of that, there's no question about.
Why do you say that?
Is because it says, in his generation he was perfect. And if he'd been in a generation of righteous people, he would even be more, a greater, even more righteous. So, but that implies that his level of righteousness right now was not as great as it would have been if he had been in another generation.
I see.
So, you understand? Everybody agrees that he was a lesser tzaddik than Avraham Avinu. The question is, what is the Torah trying to point out, right, by saying B'dei Resav? Is it trying to point out to Noah's praise, that even though he lived like he was a total loner in his generation, nevertheless he achieved to be a righteous person, okay? And if he'd been among good company, he would have even been a greater tzaddik. So we're trying to point out his praise. And according to the other explanation, he was a lesser tzaddik than Avraham Avinu. Sorry. He was a lesser tzaddik, and that's what the Torah is pointing out. Don't think he was perfect, even though the Torah describes him as a righteous man, perfect. He was perfect, but he was only perfect relative to his own generation. But had he been in the generation of living among you, if you compare him to Avraham, he wasn't up to on par with Avraham. Okay, let's do the next Rashi.
But you could also say, Rabbi, conversely, that if Abraham had lived in the generation of Noach, he would have been a lesser tzaddik.
You could do, possibly. The point was that Avraham Avinu was also a loner. But he was a loner on a higher level, that the fact that not only was he able to, without any outer education, he was totally self-educated, Avraham Avinu, nevertheless, he came out to recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and not only that, he preached to the others about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which we don't find that Noach did so. Noach, he built his teva and he told everybody, he warned everybody that if you don't pull up your socks, right, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring a flood. Okay, and that's why I'm building this huge boat. He didn't actually go out and pray, like spread the word of Hashem. Whereas Avraham Avinu, he did that. He did spread the word of Hashem. So in that respect, definitely Avraham Avinu was greater than Noah. Okay, let's do the next Rashi.
Es ha-Elokim his halech Noach. Uve Abraham hu omer. And regarding Abraham, it says, his halech lifanai. Walk before me. Noach hayat tzarich saad. Noach needed support. Letomcho, to bear him up. Aval Abraham haya mischazek, but Abraham would strengthen himself. Umehalech betzidko, and walk in his righteousness. May alav, on his own.
Yeah.
His alech, lashon avar. It says in the past tense. Vizahu shemusho shel lamed. Shall I have lamed?
You have a lamed?
I have lamed mem quote quote dalid.
Yeah, that means that's lamed.
Right.
The left lamed.
So this is the way of the lamed, that this is the way the lamed is used. B'lashon kaved, in an intense form.
Right, in a heavy intense conjugation.
Misha meshes lahaba. It serves both the future, i.e. imperative, ule she'avar, and the past, b'lashon echad, in the same form.
Meaning it's using the same term. Yeah, well, by the way, when it means the future, it doesn't mean the future, it means the imperative form.
Right. Right. Kum his alech, for example, rise, walk about. Lahaba, the word his halech is used as the future, i.e. the imperative.
Right.
His halech Noach. Noach walked. Lisha ever. That's in the past. His palel ba'ad avadecha. The word his palel, pray on behalf of your servants. Lahaba is in the future, i.e. the imperative. Uva b'his palel es habayis hazeh. And he will come and pray to this house. Lashon avar. That's the past tense. Ella she havav shebe rosho, except that the letter vav at its beginning, hofcho v'haba, transforms it into the future.
Right.
It's a conversive vav.
That's a vav conversive, correct. Okay, so that's what Rashi's saying. This term used in the it's really, when Rashi says the lamed, it's really the hay actually. I have actually in this girsa, v'zeh shel hay. The his halech. Okay, it could be. It means basically you use the same form to indicate a future, or to indicate a past tense. Future meaning imperative form, or the past tense. It's the same term used.
Right.
Okay, I think we'll stop here for today, and I hope we'll be able to cure our Zoom problems tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a good day,
Very good. Have a great day.
Okay, you too, Rabbi. Have a good day, Meir.
Take care, Lou.